So my first design, I wanted to do Stolas. I always had like a kind of an idea for a redesign for him because the biggest issue that I had with his okay, actually no, there are two big issues that I have with his design, and one is that he's not really shaped like an owl. Um, I don't mind that, like, I guess I don't mind that he's skinny, but since every other character in the entire fucking universe is skinny, I think it's like, I don't know, I think that's why it really bothers me that he's not more owl shaped. I think it looks good on some of the other members of his family, but I think he should be just like this really big hulking character. So that was one issue that I had. And then the other is his actual outfit, because I hate the like booty shorts that he has. That was like another really thing that really bothered me. But yeah, so my biggest goal was to make him look more like an owl. Or actually, because he still looks like an owl, but I really wanted to accentuate that he was an owl. And then I also wanted to utilize, and you'll see here in a minute, because I really struggled on all of these, actually, with shapes and stuff. But you'll see how I played with the colors a little bit, because I like the gradient on him, but Helluva Boss and Has Been Hotel both have this issue where, since a lot of the world and the characters use so much red, they think that they can offset this red by making a couple of characters who are like gray-blue, but that also gets really repetitive as well. So I wanted to play with the blue in his coloring as well. So, and then here I try to do line art, but then it ends up looking really bad, so I just go with the sketch. So I'll just give that a second. I've always kind of had this redesign in mind. I've drawn redesigns of all of these characters before, but his redesign was always ended up really bland. The coolest part was the regal cape being his wings, but that was kind of it. I think so that was I wanted him and Blitz to be opposite colors, kind of, because I think that's cute when couple characters are opposite each other, you know, like in coloration. I have that with a couple of my original characters as well. I wanted to accentuate his horns. I want to say, I don't think he has like a specific owl that he's modeled after, but I think if he's like gonna be based on a real one, I want him to be based on a great horned owl. Coloration of a great horned owl, I looked at them for a few minutes to try and get inspiration. And also a barn owl, because of the face heart. That's my favorite part, is the heart shape on his face. Barn owl and great horned owl. I was not about to follow the coloration or pattern of either of them, though, because if you look that up, it's like there was no way I was gonna be able to do that. These aren't supposed to be completely animator friendly. I have no plans of animating them, but I also don't want them to be too crazy complicated, because Has Been Hotel and Helluva Boss already do that to their animators, and that's why they have a turnover rate of over 50%. So, sorry. I wanted to include eye bags or eyeshadow, however you want to look at that. Change his eye color to be yellow, because I think that's kind of cool. And then I limited the red in his design, but I think he still deserved it, because red is a very regal color, so I gave him kind of a dark red. And then I liked his gradient, as I said, so I keep the gradient, but I make it more purple, kind of, because I've always wanted him to be more purple. I like purple for him. Purple fits him. That's kind of all I had to say about that, I guess. Yeah, okay. I'll probably maybe design his hat crown thing sometime, fix that up, because I don't really like the top hat, but I don't care enough. I think he looks good how he is. I'm really happy with how this redesign came out, especially the little eyelashes. I think he looks great. This is Stolas to me. Okay, so next up is Blitz, and you will notice in this speed paint that I had a very, very hard time with him. The other speed paints are like 30 to 40 minutes long because I can draw pretty fast if I'm not trying to play with line art. But his horns are so hard to draw. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but they are so insanely difficult to draw. I think 60% of this speed paint is going to be me fucking up his horns because it's so hard to draw. He might be one of the designs that I have the least amount of issues with. I actually really like his design on its own. I think he looks really cool. It is kind of inconsistent. It's very inconsistent in the show. You can, like, his horns constantly change shapes in the show. His height, the shape of his head, but I don't really care about that. I honestly really don't care about the inconsistencies. I think that that's pretty believable because the show was indie for a long time. I want to say it's not anymore, and I don't know how long it was indie actually, because I don't know the inner workings of like Spindle Horse. I don't really care. The turnover rate of over 50%. So I wanted to make him kind of stockier. I'm kind of shying away from skinny characters as much as I can. He's still like lean, but he's not like a twink anymore. Because I'm kind of saving that for a couple characters later on. I really like his boots. Oh my god, this speed paint's going fast. I really like his boots, so I kept those. I gave him a broken horn because I think it's reasonable for him to have a broken horn because him and Fizzarolli were in the same accident, and Fizzarolli's horns are both broken. And I know that Fizz was closer to the actual explosion, which is why both of his horns are broken. But Blitz still has a humongous scar across the side of his face, so I think it's within reason that he would probably like have a broken horn. And also because his horns are freaking hard to draw, so I don't care. You can fight me. I want his horn to be broken because it looks cool. I accentuated his spikes a little bit. I kind of made his face shape more lizard-like, but I think that's just my art style. I don't think that really changes his design. I think that's just the way that I draw him. I ditched the shoulder pads, even though I think they kind of look cool. But I gave him... No, I didn't. I was gonna say I gave him broad shoulders, but not really. They're just kind of high. You'll see in a minute, instead of the symbol being on his forehead, I wanted to push his spikes forward a little bit, so he's got a smaller forehead, kinda. Because in a lot of shots, his forehead's, like, comically big, and I don't like that. I gave him, like, a turtleneck thingy, because I think in my head world that, like, connects to his arm sleeve things. Anyway, and then I made his, like, circus marking, I made it be on his boots instead. Because I think that looks cool. That little sketch at the top right corner gets ditched, by the way. I think I'm looking at a picture here. Okay, yeah. I gave him a tie, and I made it really loose. I also ditched the thing that, like, his mom gave him, because I don't care about that. I'm sorry. I just don't. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about that. I really like Blitz. I think he's my favorite. He's my favorite design out of IMP. Not out of the whole show. I think that might be Striker or Fizzarolli. But I also made him a little bit more scarred. You can see his claws are white because I think he's really beat up underneath everything. His tail is really scarred. He's got eye bags now. And yeah, that's kind of it. So, Moxie I already redesigned, clearly. So that guy in the top left corner, that's my Moxie redesign from a while ago. And I actually still really like that, but I think I was kind of trying too hard to ditch what he looks like completely. And I still think Moxie's really cute. He was my favorite character out of IMP. I think my all-time favorite character is Stryker. But he was my favorite from the main trio, I guess. Because Sue Me, I love soft boys once in a while. I can't believe I just said that out loud. I probably haven't uttered that phrase since 2021. But, like, I mean, once in a while, it's okay. Like, I don't care. It's cute. So for this design, I want to make him fat. Because... So Luna calls him fat a couple times in the show. And it's a joke. And sue me, I kind of think fat jokes are funny. I don't give a fuck. Okay? But I think it would... But I can't tell if she's just saying that to mess with him, or if he's actually supposed to be fat. Because knowing Vivzy Pop, he's probably supposed to be fat, and he's just not. So I want to make him fat. I think he's really cute. Being fat, I think that really suits him. I changed his hair to be a slick back. Kind of played around with that a little bit because I don't like his fluffy hair too much, not in the front anyway. And then I gave him greed shark features, kind of, because someone brought up a really good point in a video that I watched. I don't remember who it was, but I'll probably like put the video up on the screen. How his dad, Crimson, how would he be a mob boss if imps are like the lowest class? Like, how would that even be possible? And I was like, that's a really good point. And I was thinking, and so what they said was like, he could be like part greed shark. And I was like, holy crap, that's actually really smart. So I'm stealing that. And so now Crimson is here's my cat. So now Crimson is a greed shark and his mom is an imp, which makes sense for why his mom would be like killed or whatever. And I really like that actually. So he's part greed shark, and you'll see that in the way that I color his eyes later, because I give him like the spiral eyes that they have. I also think Stryker is canonically part greed shark. Like, not like said out loud, but I think it's implied. Because I was looking up greed sharks for reference, and he was in there, and I was like, wait, no, he actually does look like one. So I probably could have taken a little bit inspiration from his weird design, but that's okay. I don't really care. I kept his horns. In my old redesign, I changed his horns, but I don't really know why I did that. I think they're fine. They're really fine. I like them. A little bit hard to draw, but like that's okay. Who cares? I also gave him kind of thick eyebrows. I cannot resist adding thick eyebrows to my characters. I fought so hard to not include them in Blitz's redesign, and you can kind of see them in Stolas's redesign, because I literally just can't help myself. They're my favorite thing ever. I struggled a lot with his neck here, and so I gave him the bow tie, but then I was like, no, Mama didn't raise no quitter. So I put it away. I also gave him, I forgot to say this, but I gave him a holster. It doesn't really look like one, but it's supposed to be a holster, because I think in like my head world, he's best with guns. So like they have like specialties, and his is like guns and stuff. I gave him rolled up sleeves, chunky arms, and fingerless gloves, because that's kind of mob family to me, a little bit. He kind of ended up looking like a young version of one of my OCs, so that pissed me off a little bit, but it's okay. Well, it was an old design anyway, so I don't really care. I gave him Crimson's colors, because I like that Crimson's kind of a grayish red. That's a nice break from the other, like, red colors. I think it's okay if they're all red. Like, I don't really care. It's just there should be, like, some variety, you know? Because they are all demons. And they don't play around with, like, off-white colors as much as they should, I think, in the designs. Because this green-white is so good. It looks so good with this red. And, like, they totally should play with off-white colors more. In the speed paint, I cut it off, but I got rid of the white under eye for his right eye, your left eye. Or like the one on the left. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But I kept the sigil on his left eye because Crimson has it. But I wanted it to be on his left because Blitz has the scar over his right eye. and Crimson's marking is on his right eye, and I was like, you can't have two. You know? I also gave him fun horn markings. I liked that from my other redesign. Here's the greed shark eyes. I think they're kind of ugly, but like they're growing on me. Oh, and I gave him a gold tooth, just because it's mob boss shit. I don't know. I think he looks really good. I'm actually really happy with how this one came out. I think he's my favorite redesign. But that might just be me being biased. I don't have the brown back from my old redesign. It really looked out of place to me. Like I was like, I kept telling myself, I was like, no, that's just not gonna look good. So I made his holster and his boots black instead. But I kept the pinstriping because it's cute. Yay!